Yeah, Plug Talk is the best. Only podcast where the host smash the guests. Yeah, Plug Talk is the best. Only podcast where the host smash the guests. Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Plug Talk. I'm here with the lovely Lena the Plug.
Hi, everyone.
And today we are speaking to someone who we just a few months ago dicked down together. Well, I guess I was the dick mostly.
I was not the dick.
Right, but this is the one and only Cherie Deville.
Ooh, hello.
Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes, you actually did, which is amazing. No one ever does.
What do people say instead?
Cherie Deville.
Cherie, all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
they need to read a book.
Well, I don't correct them that harshly, but yeah.
I just couldn't think of it going any other way, but that was just me.
Definitely.
Because, Sherry is cooking wine, cherry's a fruit, Cherie's the name. But
Cherie Deville.
each to their own.
Can I call you the MILF?
You can.
The MILF.
The MILF.
The MILF.
That
The
we're-
MILF.
We were just
Ooh.
talking about that.
Ooh.
Like, there are certain things that, like, you've been put into this MILF category
Oh,
your
yeah.
whole time in the industry because you actually entered the industry a bit later. So that's
Yeah.
kind of an interesting plot that you have going here that's different than a lot of people, huh?
Yeah, I think I would imagine most people start when they're pretty young. That's the age when we're the most attractive and you make the most money in porn. But then there was this change. I don't know if it was like Lisa Ann when she did that nail and palin thing, but in the early 2000s, the whole genre of MILF became huge and there weren't many people to fill that role. Some people like Julia Ann started when she was young and then did teen and then babe and then up to MILF. But there's a few of us that started now that it's a thing as like full ass adults.
Right. So
Wow.
what were you doing for all those years? Because you hopped into the porn world at what, 34?
32,
32?
33, 34, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Okay. What were you doing with your life prior to that?
I'm still a physical therapist.
Oh,
Isn't that
okay.
cool?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think it's so cool. When you told me that, I was like, that's amazing.
Wow. So was that,
Yeah.
that's what you went to school for?
Mhm.
And that's what you did for your whole adulthood?
Yeah, it turns out my makes like way more money than my brain.
I would actually have assumed that. No offense. It's just, it seems like it's kind of easy to
not
monetize a
everyone's
vagina.
She's a moneymaker and I'm glad. And I can just sort of let the brain part, take a little vacation. No.
But when you were just a civilian, were you engaged with your sexuality or were you running around in these streets? Were you in a relationship? What was that like?
I don't do this anymore just out of respect for my coworkers, but I was a huge swinger. I would go to swingers clubs every weekend, whoever. The exhibition. I liked while people were watching. I liked being invited into people's relationships. Like, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Loved
So
it.
how did you get into that? And this is very
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm
Yeah.
very interested
Yeah.
right
Very
now.
interested in the
Yeah.
swinger world. We went to one party, which we
Yeah.
might end up telling you about a bit later. I've talked about it on the podcast like a million times, but I'm interested. How did you find out about that world and what were the first couple times like?
It was a little bit of hard work because my first couple times were terrible. It's actually hard to find a club, and I would recommend private clubs. And this is going to sound awful, but for me, I like the clubs where you have to submit your resume.
Okay.
You have to show your picture and then you're either let in or not. So that to me, I enjoy certain types of people. I enjoy attractive people. So, if you go to one of those clubs that's a little more exclusive.
You're
then
not
can kinda
offended
get
that
in
you
on
have
that.
to fill out like this crazy long resume when you go?
No, and it also, at least when I was in Nashville, Tennessee, I think it was part of the legality of having it because it was never at people's
Oh.
houses. It was at a freestanding club that's only purpose was to be a swingers club.
Right.
3 stories of like stages and like couches and all kinds of different like interesting equipment and stuff like that. So in order to have alcohol and people and sex, it had to be a private club.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a way to, yeah.
The application process makes total sense to me because, I mean, picture being in an average club. What percentage of the people in this club do you want to have sex with? Like, probably
2.
not a
I
huge
like
percentage, right?
Do you ever play that game at the airport? Who's
Yeah.
because I do that in my head all the time. I'll be like, babe, who's right now?
That was me bored in high school, looking around the science class thinking, if I had to have sex with someone in here, who would it be? And like really trying to rank them in my head because I was that bored. I haven't done that in probably 20
That's
years.
what you were doing in science class?
At least sometimes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never thought of that game in science class. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, sometimes you just think like if I had to reproduce with someone
You
here,
had
who would
to.
it be? Yeah.
Mhm.
So okay,
my God.
the swingers clubs. Once you start going, like, what was your first time like? Do you just go crazy on your first time, or you
My
dip
first
your toe
few
in?
times were not in this private club. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. I'd find like the one or two cute people at the club and like bang them, and it was fine, but it wasn't like the experience that I had, like the fantasy in my head.
What was the fantasy of just
Fantasy in my head is probably like anyone. You imagine going into a room with like scantily clad, gorgeous women on the stripper poles, and they might not be all out to bang you, but they're all ready to bang tonight.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's cool.
that's my. So just beautiful people, scantily clad, ready to bang.
And you're still into the swinging thing. Like if you weren't working,
if I weren't working, I would definitely do it. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
I feel like working satisfies. Well, it's the exact same thing. Working and swinging are kind of the same in that you get to have awesome sex without the emotional strings. So work totally fills that void for me.
It's a little bit less spontaneous though. Do you miss like the spontaneity of not knowing who you're going to land?
Yes. And the part I miss the most is the chase. It turns out I like the chase as much as I like the sex.
Really?
I like, especially with women, I feel like it's a challenge. And when you get to bang them after like flirting and whatever you do, it's like feels really emotionally successful.
I can see that.
Sex club kind of takes away some of the challenge, right? Because you're sort of going in there, and is it almost like everybody there is just going to be down to you if you put in the request or an incredibly high percentage?
But you still gotta
It's
eye
hard
each
to
other.
say.
And,
It's
like,
hard to say.
Woo each other.
And yeah, you'll find maybe a couple you like, and it's almost like everyone's like vetting each other for a job interview that's happening at 3 a.m.
Right.
Like you're there at 11, and you know for the next few hours, everyone's like, you
But
know.
is everybody
I feel like that
fucking
was
right in
so
there?
fun.
Is everybody hooking up like right there in front of you, or is it kind of like later on things just start to go down?
Everyone's different. You know, there's always like the people that are like making out on the dance floor and this and that. And then at least in the clubs I've been to, there are areas for exhibition, right? Where anyone is allowed to walk by. You're completely in the open. And then areas that you can close.
Right.
Like you find a few people that you like, you go off into a private room.
So
How many people are there? Sorry, I'm just like very curious what this looks like. All these people at the same place. Is it
Maybe like 100?
100? Okay, not that many.
maybe.
And so,
Yeah.
give me some hot experiences that took place in this kind of environment. Like, because I'm sure that you have nights that are not so great.
Or that you
have
don't
nights
hook
that
up
are
at all.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, there are plenty of nights where I just never felt like the vibe with people. I'd say like best case scenario is finding a couple looking for a third, because I don't know, that's like stuff like this is like my jam for whatever
Really?
reason. Worst case scenario, and this happens a lot, like say there's like a time when I'm in a relationship or something and that guy doesn't like to do full swap. And then you're trying to find the unicorn is what they're called in the swingers world. The single women that want to be with just you two is tough. Full swap's easier.
So it's hard to find the third, even though you
if
want
you
to be
just
the
want a third,
yeah.
that's hard.
Really?
I like to be the third, but it's hard to find the third. Usually it's couples.
So if we were
that
going,
want
we would have
full
a hard
swap.
time.
If we went, yeah, because if
It's
you're
hard to find a unicorn.
If you're a super hot chick, you got all kinds of options for getting dicks. If you're a couple looking to fuck a girl,
It's harder.
a little bit harder. You know, if you're just a dude just trying to get some
I still want to try and go to one of these one day because she's convincing me that it's really fun.
Oh,
so
no, I'd like to go,
fucking
yeah.
fun. Even if you just go, and I've done this a million times, and you just f- who you came with in public,
Right.
and you notice a crowd starts to build. I don't know.
Yeah.
It really does it for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be weird to be
You
f***ing in
feel
front
you're
of
like,
people
we're
for
doing
free.
such a good job. High five. Look at us. You know?
We always do it for money, so it'd be weird to be
Yeah.
doing it in front of a room of people for
Right?
free. You're like,
now,
but
maybe.
it turns you on, so
Yeah.
it's like
Man,
that's.
I'm a celebrity. I ain't going to this shit. Everybody gonna be filming me and shit. That's like gonna be kind of weird.
No, I bet there's a crazy no phones rule.
There better be, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like everyone would mob you and take your phone from you if you pulled your
Because
phone out and tried to
there's-
I'm
film
gonna
it.
put a GoPro on my head.
Here, I guess the concern would be celebrity. It's LA.
Right.
But in Nashville, the concern is high level professionals.
Oh, right.
That's
Like
true.
CEOs
Lawyers.
and stuff. Wow.
And it gets kinky. I mean, there's dudes getting there's several acts that you might not want to get out.
See, that
You
might be
know what I
weird to me.
mean?
If I'm in the sex club and I start smelling dookie from a couple of bros in the corner, I'm gonna be like, oh, maybe this ain't the club for me. I don't know. You know, much respect, but I don't know if I
Our
wanna be
first
there.
AVN, we got really excited and we went to this party that they had to like shuttle us off to. It was all low key, and we thought like, oh, we're gonna have so much
Yeah,
tonight.
so
This is
much
gonna be
sex.
so hot. And then all we did was Adam watched his first guy get by a lady with a and he was just like, this
Never
is not
felt-
Interesting.
You know, I never felt more vanilla in my life. And I tweeted about it. And sure enough, people from like the BDSM community and shit were quote tweeting me LOLing at my ass, being like,
That's
oh my
funny.
God, when the vanilla people show up at the party. And I'm like, yo, like, I'm not allowed to be shocked by this guy getting by some chick. Like,
Right.
I if that makes me vanilla, okay, fine.
I kept checking his I was like, does he like it? Maybe he likes
Yeah,
it.
No,
A
no
little
movement.
bit, a little
No. Shrivel up a
You're
little
like
bean- a
you're
little
like
bean.
you're like on your phone trying to pick straws. You're like, no, never mind.
No,
I'll put
I
the
was on my
away.
phone, like looking at Twitter, like just like I don't want to look at this shit. You know, some other shit. Okay, but so you're doing the party thing for a while and whatever. Then how did you actually make the move towards? You ever strip or escort or anything like that?
No, it was actually super random. So physical therapists make a nice salary, but I've always been interested in the sex world. So I thought it would be fun to do nude modeling. That's it. Just nude modeling on the weekend for, do you know the site Model Mayhem?
Yes.
Amateur models, amateur photographers.
Right. I remember
Basically,
that
they're
site,
paying
yeah.
to see you naked
Yeah.
is the thing at the end of the day. So I did that for a while. Also My Sexy Jobs, it's kind of the same thing. And then a headhunter for my current agency found me and was like, would you like to do And I'm like, wait, what?
Well,
Had you
Yeah.
ever thought about it?
Maybe in a vague fantasy way, but I didn't think, I wouldn't know how to get that. Who do I call
A
to
lot of
do
people have never been
But who do
propositioned.
I?
A lot of times when girls get in the industry,
Yeah.
their story is like, well, I was 19 working at a bar and some guy came in and asked me if I wanted to do and then they sort of were like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, sure.
Like,
But
yeah.
a lot of people never get the
But yeah,
in
people
LA,
don't know how to like
you get the
apply.
offer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LA,
I guess
somebody's gonna
so.
tell you.
But where were you? You were in LA, were you?
No, Nashville at the time. Yeah,
But
I would have
mean,
never
if you're
known.
going to these parties and someone asks you to do do you feel like it doesn't seem that scary because you've already like had in
You've
front of
been
other
prepped.
people?
I wasn't scared at all. In
Mhm.
fact, I was like the only two things I did before I took my first job was call my family and make sure I couldn't lose my physical therapy license.
Wait, you
The
told
rest-
them first?
Wow.
Wait, you called the
Online, man.
family.
It's
Wow.
online. I mean, I didn't want to, but
But you're a grown ass woman at that point too.
what are you
so-
going to do? Like 2 years in, get a phone call and be like, Uncle Joey saw you on the.
I mean,
You're
that's
saying,
what we
what
did.
would you do? That is what everybody
That's what
does. Yeah, everybody just lets their parents find out.
Nobody
Right?
calls them and debriefs them beforehand.
but like they're gonna find out. Like to me, I had three choices. Don't do, but if you're gonna do, which I really wanted to, you have two choices. Create a rift by letting them find out on their own, or tell them.
But what if you did one scene and it sucked, you hated it, you never wanted to do it again, and then you told your family you're going to do would that be?
Well, I didn't tell them I was gonna do. I told them what I thought I was gonna do.
Okay.
Which was go to LA for 1 week, shoot the that my agent got me, and then be like, look at the crazy shit Nana did when I'm 90. That was my whole goal.
You were
And
gonna
I just
get
really
it
loved
filmed
it.
and then not let them put it out?
No, I was gonna let him put it
Oh,
out,
okay.
but just as like
One-time
almost like
kinda
as a
thing.
sign
Okay.
that I really lived life.
Right.
Okay.
You know, almost like I don't know if it's a bragging thing or like I ran a marathon, I went skydiving, I did a it just made me feel like I was really like living,
Yeah. It's
taking
exciting.
experiences and living.
Do you feel like that's kind of like an antiquated mind state now when girls just get all like the first, they get fired from the diner and they're like,
I
well,
know.
it's time, you know.
I
ain't
know.
getting unemployment. I'm gonna
It
do this.
wasn't. I came in at the tail end of the video era,
Right.
so I feel like even then you either were a or nothing.
Right.
Do you know
There
what I
was
mean?
no
Like
in
you
between, really, yeah.
you were either getting hired by the big companies or I don't know, you were just
There's so many
some
levels
weird
now.
amateur. I don't know.
Maybe like 20 or 30 years ago, I feel like you could have done and maybe your parents never find out because you have to
Oh, yeah.
physically get
VHS
it.
days.
That would have been a challenge.
Not only physically get it, but admit to your child or niece or whoever
that you bought
did
the
it.
video and then you did it.
and it's
Yeah.
shitty quality. It's like VHS, so that's not me. That could be anybody. When
Yeah.
it's HD,
Oh,
it's
and the
like,
amount
no,
of makeup in the 90s,
Yeah,
you'd be
we
like, that
see
is
your
not me.
fingerprints. That's you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just so shocked that you did it in such a grown up way. I'm
Right.
gonna
I
call
was,
my
like, kind of an
family
adult,
and make sure I
though.
can't lose my license. Yeah, you were an
But
adult.
what? You do 5 and now you've ruined your whole career. What if I hated it?
Yeah.
And wanted to like go back to work?
But so did you absolutely love it at the first scene or
Absolutely fucking loved it.
really?
Really?
Yeah.
What was your first scene like?
Well, I did girl for years
Oh, okay.
because I wasn't
Oh.
sure about those boys.
So your
And their
first
is. I wasn't sure.
Your first scenes, you didn't do any stuff with guys for years?
Years.
Wow.
Yeah, just because I thought
You
maybe
thought the were too big?
I thought the might be too big. And most importantly, I was concerned that like I had this like image of male talent being like jerks or something.
Really?
You know, I don't know if it's that I like to watch really hardcore and I just wasn't sure like
If you could.
are they actually mean? Are they, you know? So it wasn't until I like met male talent, became friends with male talent, was like, oh, no, this is
This is
fine.
I feel like some of them are
regular
just
guy.
totally
Yeah.
fine. The nicest
Yeah.
softies, like
Yeah.
sweethearts of you ever meet.
I feel
Yeah.
like the guys who go really far in the world are guys that women just really, really like. Like,
Yeah.
I have been at the bar and seen Johnny Sins walk up and just seen multiple different girls like jumping on this dude and hugging him like
yeah.
they're obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like that's a top right there. Like the kind of guy that these girls love working with him.
Yeah.
You know?
Your vagina remembers if Johnny's been there.
Well,
I'll
good
tell
to
you
know.
that.
Wow, shit. I'm gonna have to
he
get in
leaves
there.
he leaves a memory.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like I just hear girls say such nice things about him and other big performers all
Yeah.
the time. They're so nice. But so
Yeah,
that
he's
so
a
you
gem.
met some dudes. You're like, all right,
Felt
you're,
like
you're
it
not
was
going to kill
emotionally
me.
okay, and then told my agent I was ready.
Right.
Yeah,
So were you just doing a bunch of lesbian MILF then?
yeah.
Wow, is
Tons.
it a big category?
You know, I only moved here to LA to work full time 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I was mostly just being a physical therapist and like going to LA every other month and shooting and then coming home.
And did your
And just living my
clients
life.
find out?
Did my what?
Did your clients ever find out?
No one's ever said anything.
Wow.
Ever.
To this day.
That's amazing.
That is
I don't-
amazing.
She used to help me with my tendonitis,
But
and now
down
she's a
south,
MILF.
people are pretty polite, don't you think? Like they might just not say
But
it.
even now, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I try and kind of look really plain at work, but I think, I don't know if they're like, this looks like a or I don't want to ruin this professional relationship with someone who's helping me by saying something weird and sexual. I'm also like super fucking professional.
Because you still practice now.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah.
Wow.
Enough to keep my license. I wouldn't say like I'm practicing. I just
Right.
work enough to keep my license.
So interesting.
So compare the feeling at the end of a scene after shooting with a girl to the feeling after shooting with one or more dudes who have massive, oversized eggplant. Talk to me about, is it different? What's the day of work? How different does it feel?
Well, physically, it's obviously harder to work with guys, and it's not the dick, actually. So that, yeah, some guys' dicks are on my no list just because it's too much,
Really?
you know.
I didn't know you could get on a no list for that. Wow.
Oh, I'm
Well,
you
I
never know
mean,
this for anything, right?
If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Nobody's going to want to
If
see
it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
If it
Continue.
doesn't fit, you must have quit. Yes. So that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the real hard part about boy-girl porn is the athleticism involved in the positions that need to be done on camera.
Mm.
So girl, not always, but 80% of the time is a little more, it can be very passionate,
Mm.
but it's more romantic. Lots of the positions include one or more of you just laying on your
Yeah.
back, you know, and you just, maybe you're moving one leg instead of being in 6-inch stilettos, doing 15 minutes of squats, 7 inches off the ground to ride a facing the camera with no eye contact with the dude.
Just this.
It's not
Oh,
quite
God, my
as,
back hurts
you know
thinking
what I
about it.
mean? Yeah. So it's just like way more athletic.
Right.
So I'm tired like I went to the gym.
Yo, I could definitely
Yeah.
see that. And you got a gnarly ass workout partner who's just pushing you to the absolute limit.
Yeah.
But you were
and then you
working
have
on-
so many like endorphins and it feels so good. I feel like you push further than you would if it didn't feel good.
Mm.
But
Are
then
you
right
ever-
after the scene's done, you're
And
like,
then you're like, or like if you have to go back and do softcore, you're like, I don't know, man. I might be tapped out.
Mm. That makes sense. Let me ask you this. Do you on set? Has it happened? Like how
Not every time, but yeah.
How much enjoyment are you actually getting out of it? And what's like the scene where you can remember getting the most actual pleasure on your end? Really?
I swear to God, every girl is about to
Emily Willis was just in here and she was saying the
Yes.
exact same
Yeah,
thing. Wow.
it's kind of insane. It's like pressing every pleasure button at the same. It's kind of almost like using Hitachi for the first time. It can be a little like
overwhelming.
sensory overwhelming, but for me, it's fun for 2 reasons: the sensation, it touches everything you want it to, and this might be because I'm a MILF. So MILFs are almost always in complete control of the scene, and
Oh.
I'm naturally submissive. So that's fine, but it's not.
You
it
can't be
doesn't.
that in control
It
when
doesn't
you're doing
flip
DP.
all my switches.
Yeah.
And if you're in complete control of the scene, the dialogue, the positions, and what everyone else is doing, you're a little bit in your head. So that takes away a little bit for me if I'm thinking too much. But if there's two dudes, they're just throwing you around like a fucking rag doll. I don't have to think. I don't have to choose a position. My only job is to get f***ed and enjoy it.
Right.
Wow.
That's it.
But isn't that funny that probably the average person who watches porn, if they see the they're thinking that there's no way the girl likes it. And they're thinking it's just for the movie, just for the dudes. They're just going to assume that the girl's not enjoying it. That's interesting.
I think the girl enjoys it 10 times more than the dudes because... And I pick my dudes based on their relationship, not my desire to fuck them, because it's so much more important that the dudes have chemistry, and I don't mean sexually.
Wow.
But it's like a dance, and if the dudes don't know each other, it actually doesn't feel good.
They're not vibing, stepping on each other.
They're not vibing. They're like, everyone's fucking at weird times. They're like fighting for the no one wants to anchor. There's like weird masculine energy.
Wow, things I've never thought about.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, don't fight over me, boys. No, it's kind of annoying.
I don't know if I would, doing a D with somebody that you are not like close homies with would be kind of weird, but then doing it with your best homie would be also weird. But also,
I feel like your no list is very long.
My best homies, like they're not like probably going to do with me anyway, so it's like
you need like a medium homie, like someone who's like about to be your best friend but they're not there yet, so it's awkward, but you're like, man, you're a cool dude.
Like I wouldn't mind.
Vibe.
My nuts could rub on yours a little bit. It's all good.
Yeah. 2 years from now you'll be best friends. You got to find a new one, but you know.
Yeah. Wow. So the is fought over in the scenario. The anal is a little bit less desirable.
It probably depends on the girl, but for me, I like to be like really relaxed, and my ball does open up pretty good. So depending on their size, I think my would give more sensation than like after 30 minutes in my ass.
Right.
Yeah.
So much respect.
But anal's probably a lot more work because you still have to be in control and then you're doing the same exact, but you're doing it in right?
And in you don't have to do like
you
anything.
Don't have to do anything.
I feel like you're like in the air, not even touching the ground half the time.
Getting carried around.
You're just getting
Wow.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, she's making it sound really good.
It's really good.
It sounds good to me too. I'm kind of wondering how I can make it happen. Hey, but so besides the anything in particular that really stands out to you that you've gotten a lot of pleasure from? You ever do big and shit like that?
I do. I like it's similar in that the only problem is with at least the ones that I've done, and you'll see this even in a lot of top performer is you'll have like 1 to 3 good male talent.
Oh.
And then everybody else is honestly spending 90% of the time in the corner. And then you don't know as the viewer, because when they roll in strong, but then they're just, and it's like kind of distracting.
Right.
And like
is
in my
he gonna
head,
get
I'm
hard?
like, 1, is he going to get hard? 2, like, am I attractive? Like, or like, I don't know. It's a lot of to keep hard.
I know.
It's a lot of plates to keep in the air.
If I was going to film, if I was going to produce a thing, it's like, yes, you do. You probably want to pay the full rate for a couple of top-notch pros. And then you might want to get like a couple guys you saw
top-notch pros
standing outside the Home Depot or whatever. Like, yo, you need a day's work? Let's go. We're going to get you tested, souped up. We're going to buy you a nice little outfit. Let's go.
It's almost like that.
Taking Mizoomies.
Wow.
It's almost like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Where you're like, I've never met you after 10 years. That's not good.
I can't stand watching porn where I could see the guy in the corner. So I can't imagine.
They do film that sometimes?
Sometimes I see it and I'm like, get him the
usually
fuck out of here.
They're like, the director will be like,
so I can't imagine how distracting it is for you.
I remember I came upon a when I was very young, and that was a real eye opener for me because, you know, I'm like 15 watching a and you start to realize like, oh, I just watched 50 dudes on this chick. They all have different sizes. They all have different sizes. Some of these dudes are having to go to town.
Yeah.
It's like really weird, and that sort of clues you into how awkward this must actually be at times. Yeah.
Imagine this. Imagine knowing that pretty much people aren't going to get paid until you and like, okay, the first guy you're like, no, I'm good. The second guy, third, fourth. Now 20 people are waiting for you to like, how can you like that?
But
the pressure's insane.
I don't doubt myself though. I feel like if I'm there to be part of the I'm gonna just walk up and do it. Like, I don't really think.
Well, then you'd be one of the first guys to. You wouldn't be that guy in the corner going, "Shit, I'm not getting paid."
I don't think I could get so nervous that I wouldn't be able to. At least I've never been that. I can only think of a couple times in my life where I haven't been able to get one. It was the middle of the winter. This girl's house. I swear, the walls on the house were so thin that I could like feel the wind through the house. That didn't work. And then there's been a couple times where I was like depressed and I couldn't get hard.
Absolutely.
For the most part, I feel like, you know, when it's time to do it, it's like banging a nail into the wall.
You're the
I might not be in the
person-
mood, but I could do it.
You're
you
the
know?
easiest person to make hard.
You're like, you like her? Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and then the worst is if they want you, the girl, to make all like however many of them. You know what I mean? If they're you're right, you have control, but sometimes they want to see it happen with you, and that's really hard to time with men that you've never before.
Right.
Like, I didn't have time to ask. There's so many people in the
little
room.
kinks, but there's so many people, so I do remember ever what everyone wants.
And when you're watching like a scene, like there'll be like two dudes like actually, and then you will watch one guy. Whoosh, he like
you fly
runs in there because he's about to blow.
He's ready.
He can't miss this, and it is so obvious, and you're like, that's an amateur. You need to go back to do your homework. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's funny.
Wow.
This thing,
It's a
the
weird
symphony
dynamic.
of all the. I feel like your wrist would just like fall off.
Yeah, and then you wonder because like these people are also your friends. You're like, did I pay like way more attention to one of them than the other?
Wow.
Are they gonna have hurt feelings? Maybe the guys don't care, but like I care.
I feel like you're letting us in on your personality. That you actually care about how all these douchebags feel. Yeah.
Well, like if you're working with them. Some people I've been working with for the past 10 years.
Wow.
Right.
So, you know, you don't want to roll on and be like, ugh, I have to work with Cherie again today. I remember a few years ago, what you mean? Like, who knows? But,
I know. I feel like I hear this from a lot of girls. They really do care about their on-set relationships a lot because they want all the scenes going forward to work really well. You can't assume that you're not going to work with this person again unless you put them on your no list.
Of course. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
but otherwise, if you both end up in the like A list, the group of working people, you're going to work with them, especially men, constantly. There aren't that many A-list dudes. I feel like I work with the same 20 people just all the time.
I had so many girls tell me that, like, oh, people think I'm a different dude every day. In reality, I'm just the same 30 guys over and over and over.
Kind of.
For the most part,
New people come in and stuff, but But the top, like if you're working for top companies, they're not gambling on guys they don't know. So
makes
same
sense.
old, same old.
So let me ask you this: in terms of your personal sexual life, how has sort of changed you? Do you feel like you're getting a lot of the sort of deviant, like crazy sexual energy that you were looking for in the swinger clubs? Do you get a lot of that from and that makes your normal day-to-day sex life a little bit more normal, or your relationship type at this point? Or
I mix it up, of course. Like I want to have the kinky, I want to have this and that. But now I really almost fetishize connected,
really,
like quiet, like sometimes
staring into each other's eyes.
And that was something that I didn't do that much before. I wanted to be like, just f***ed and tossed around and this person and that. And now I feel like there's like a place for me for that type of sex too. Yeah.
Definitely.
Because
I like
it's
it.
more rare now. It's like special.
It's actually super special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And rare. So that almost feels like the birthday, or whatever it is for the vanilla.
But
regular.
if you stop doing tomorrow, then
it would have to change.
Yeah.
Birthday is a thing. Like there's normal dudes who like they only get on their birthday.
Don't you think?
Wow.
Is that just in sitcoms or is that like a
I
real
feel like
thing?
you're probably right. I haven't heard that before, but that
I might
makes
have
sense
just been
to
hearing
me.
it in sitcoms.
If I was a regular guy who had a girlfriend that didn't like then, and I like, because I feel like that's kind of what has like demystified to me. When I was young, I was so obsessed with but now I'm like, as a grown man, I've done it.
When we
times.
first started hanging out, you were like, you're down with I remember you were like really like excited.
Yeah.
Because that was before I was even doing like a lot of Snapchat or and stuff, and you were really interested in the fact that I was down to do that. I remember.
No, yeah, but now having a girlfriend
seem...
for 4 years who's down to doing it's kind of, and having done it on camera so many times and stuff, it doesn't have that thing that it used to have in my head where it's like, this is so
different on
crazy.
camera though.
You
I think. Well, for me, it's different on camera because of the outrageous amounts of prep.
Yes.
So when I haven't eaten, I have less energy. So I feel like my at-home is more fun.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like I got glucose. I'm focused.
Yeah.
I'm there.
That makes
Yeah.
A
sense.
lot less pressure.
One
Yeah.
thing I realized from posting this clip of you on my Twitter earlier is that you have a shitload of fans. Like, how do you
She's
think
very
about
popular.
that? Yeah, how do you think about that? Like, do you take a lot of consideration of what your fans want from you in terms of your content, and do you engage with them a lot? Does it like make you feel really good when you post a new piece of content and you get this crazy reaction from them?
Well, two things. So like, I think it's because I'm 42, right? So I did not grow up with any kind of digital friends,
Right.
any kind of social media, MySpace, Facebook, any of that. So I don't really feel like digital relationships are as real. So I don't think I feel my fans as much as some people feel their fans. They feel a little abstract to me, but I definitely consider what they want, especially now that I'm marketing myself and selling my own stuff. But the real people that made my brand wasn't me. Like, you made your brand, right? You decided all your choices, you made your brand. I came in before making your own brand was relevant.
Right.
So they made me a MILF and a stepmom and a cougar and all of those sort of like older woman fantasies, and built a beautiful and amazing fan base for me. So when I started building my own content, I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to do this. Like, they're already there, kind of.
Yeah.
And then so I just am still feeding into what was built for me. Could I get a different fan base and start doing only foot? Probably. But like, this is the one that was kind of like prepackaged and like handed to me by the
Have you
industry.
stepped out of the stepmom MILF role, and has anyone?
I have a lot of
happy about that?
variety
Yeah.
in my content, but I definitely keep the MILF tropes that I've been given as sort of like a week doesn't go by that on like my or whatever platforms that I don't do some kind of, whether it's my, a neighborhood, kid, or it's some sort of older woman
Scenario.
fantasy is absolutely on a weekly basis on my platforms.
Wow.
Yeah.
All your content is so scenario based. I remember when we first worked together. So like, she was like, so what does your audience think Adam is? Like, do they know he's
Who
your
is he?
boyfriend? I'm
I
like,
didn't want to say the wrong thing,
Yeah.
and
She's like, when we're on camera.
let the cat out of the bag.
yeah,
you know?
just like, I just want to make sure.
What's his name?
No, but it must be nice, honestly, to be like an anonymous guy who can just easily like fit into a lot of different roles. Because for me, it's just so obvious.
You could never be my Uber. He could never be my Uber driver. We put him in a Domino's shirt, but it's like obviously not
it's
a
just
Domino's
fun,
guy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really work for me.
That's hilarious.
We should try making my stepson. That'd be really funny.
Oh, that'd be so
I'm
funny.
so much bigger than you. It seems like really like if anything,
You're
when you
also
look
like
at,
way older than me.
you're like the stepdaughter thing, which wow, it sounds creepy when you do it the other way. But that's
Right?
just like I don't know. That's just because you look like, if anything, you are like
Young.
much younger than me. So I don't know.
Still a MILF, so
And on
Definitely.
POV, you just see the though. They don't
Wow.
know how old that is.
true.
But I got the tats.
Yeah, they'd know it was you. It'd be a little bit of a suspension of disbelief.
Maybe I could airbrush
Yeah.
my skin a different tone. Not going black thigh or black pube area.
I was
But
gonna say it.
something like like
Imagine
Jersey
she
Shore
starts
type. Make it a
singing
little orange.
all over her face.
She got all orange face by the end of it. She looked like a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh my god. Well, it's almost Halloween.
I know a lot of the Japanese girls, they like them to look really pure. So they'll spend like hours airbrushing their tattoos away before they film their scenes.
Really?
A lot of
Wow.
the top Japanese talent is heavily tattooed, right? Or like Akuza adjacent, but they just make them look clean slate.
know
Wow.
that.
They want to
Yeah.
feed into that like submissive,
I guess.
like pure thing. That's
I
so
guess.
I heard
interesting.
they just legalized tattoos in Japan.
Really?
That's weird.
Yeah, so you can like get them, and I don't know to
We
what
can go to the
extent.
spa now together?
Yeah, because we went to
Wow.
Japan and they wouldn't let us in the spa.
No.
Yeah.
Or me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
But
Right.
wow, interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I bet they cross the street when they see all your tattoos. They're like, damn.
But you know the weird thing with Japan is everybody is so polite that
Yeah.
it's not
true.
even like they definitely do think I'm fucking weird as fuck, but they are so polite that they won't even look at me and communicate the fact that
Right.
you know.
If only
Yeah.
they knew that all we did every day there was play Pokemon Go and that we're not threatening at
Oh,
all.
heck
They're
yeah.
so polite that they ain't even like, yo, you want to get in this
Are there
raid?
really
Yeah.
good Pokemon in Japan? Are there different Pokemon in
There's-
Japan?
It's like
there's
the whole
more
place is a
than-
Pokemon theme park.
Yeah,
More
it's actually
Pokemon.
crazy.
But you
Okay.
know what I remember? There was like girls who realized that we were lost and just came up to us and asked if we need help. So you couldn't have looked
That's
that
so
threatening.
cute.
Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, they could tell we were lost, and they just like were like, show us a map, and they just showed us how to get to where we wanted to go. So
I like that.
yeah,
Japan
that's
seems
cool.
like probably one of the worst places on earth if you were looking to like line up a casual.
You can't even talk to anybody.
Didn't we had one girl
Those
hitting
girls
us
are
up the whole
hot,
time we
though.
were there, wanted to hang out, and then like she was just weird as fuck.
I think you're probably thinking of somewhere else. I don't think that happened in Japan.
No, maybe.
This has happened in a
Yeah.
lot of
That'd be
different
a great-
places.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Random. It's complicated these days. It's been a long time. We'll get there again.
We'll go to that swingers club. I really want to go.
Yeah, I think it's a good in between the tons of effort. Maybe I'm lazy. The tons of effort it takes to pick someone up at a bar, especially a woman, and then like you could hire someone. I feel like it's a good in between.
I
You know,
think
it's
it
a little
leaves
easier than
some
the bar.
Spontaneity.
I would
Yeah,
love
it
to hire
leaves
a. That would be so
spontaneity.
fun.
You've never hired him a
No, but wouldn't that
No.
be fun to just like actually
'Cause
support
it's
the worker economy? You
I
know, I
still
want to
think
help.
that's
You know,
hot.
let's get in there. Yeah, like that'd be cool.
No.
In my
I don't even
mind-
know how to hire a fucking.
one of my best
but
friends. I'm
right.
gonna tell you. I can't say who it is
Air
because
it
in case he finds out, one of my best friends' boyfriends wanted to so bad, and she's so shy. She lied, and she hired a and had them meet her at a bar and did the whole thing,
Wow.
and he never found out.
Wow.
That's
And
amazing.
he just thinks she's like a goddess now of like pickup queen.
There's been times
That's
where
amazing.
I thought that you might have done that, where we like hooked up with a girl, and I kind of almost like felt like her energy was like, does she not necessarily like want to do this, and she's just doing it because she's sort of like got paid to do it? Maybe.
Who are
I'm
you
not-
thinking of?
I don't
Every
know.
girl
This
that we-
story
It's
is
just
not
crossed
about
my
her,
mind.
by the way. I'm
It
not
just crossed my mind. Like maybe.
You had before me. Maybe you're thinking of somebody else.
No, I'm talking about you, but it's
I
if
would
you
not-
didn't do that, then that's awesome.
No, I
You
did
never
not.
thought of that? No.
No.
But
Um,
now I think you should.
And now
A
we
good
only, now
like
we
a
only
high
work
end.
with girls in the industry, so I feel
Yeah.
like it would be weird. Like I forgot how to just go to the bar and pick up girls like we used to, or
Yeah.
when girls would DM me, be like, "Hey, I think you and Adam are cute," and I'd be like, "Okay, hey, let's hang out," you know?
Right, but now it would be like any.
But then is it a fangirl?
But-
Now there's a line.
Right, but this is the thing. Any girl who hits us up on that probably has a. And if we're gonna, them, they need to get tested.
Yeah.
So it's like, like you're bad too. Like you should get tested and do this fucking collab. You know,
Yeah.
we might as well monetize it as well. Right?
With condoms is the hardest thing in the
Yeah,
world.
no thanks. Yeah.
It's
We've done it.
so
Yeah, not a
hard.
fan. Yeah.
Especially when the girl like, and I totally get it, wants you to like change a condom every time.
You go back and forth.
Oh my god.
It's like
He'd be like, "This is too much work
you
for me.
like
I'm
you're
out."
like by the time you're done, you're like swimming in a sea of condoms.
Yeah.
It's like the whole bed
the
is full of
taste of
condoms.
the condom would just.
Oh,
I
and it's
hate.
pervasive.
I hate it.
I'd rather
Right?
suck
When
a
you're
Lego.
changing it like
That's
that.
gross,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh,
I
that's
feel
so
like
hot."
If the girl said anything about condom, I'd be like, listen, you go get tested. We'll meet up again in a couple of days. Boom.
Oh
You know,
my
I'm
God.
not. You know,
Sorry, I want
Yeah.
to keep fixing your ear.
it's fine. You can just leave it. You don't have to
Yeah.
adjust
It's falling off.
it. No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I know. I'm pretty much like I'm so used to going to get tested that I just want everyone to go get it tested. Which
now
takes
that
out
I've
the
done it
excitement,
though, now that I've done it, I need it. And now I look back at how I was in my youth, and I was just so fucking careless.
The testing,
And
right?
don't you feel
Yeah.
like you're
Now
lucky?
I have to test.
Yeah.
Now I'm like the most neurotic, but I was completely fine. Condoms, sure, but like careless.
You're like STDs are
Careless,
myths, never gonna happen
careless.
to
If
me.
you go to the club, less than 1% of the women are tested.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are the odds that they're going to be able to show you a test? Like approximately zero. Come
Yeah.
on. So that
Yeah.
would be my advice to everybody. Everybody should be getting tested like every 72 hours, even if you don't do just in case.
Well, it depends on how many people you're f***ing, but yeah, you
if
should be
you're
getting,
fucking random people every weekend,
yeah,
Yeah.
then you should be getting tested.
ah.
So speaking of random people, you were saying that you like to be the third.
I love to be the third. Can you see? You saw I was kind of like blushing.
Yeah.
when
We
I
had so much
said
fun
it.
with you last time,
I
so
know.
Yeah, talk about last time. How did we deliver last
was
time?
so fucking hot, and I was so nervous because like I had like kind of seen you on her social media, but I had like a major crush on you, and then I started seeing some of my friends working with you, and I'm like, oh, she'll probably never ask me, but it's fine. I'll just keep watching her Instagram, and then you asked me, and then I'm like,
I wish my
nervous.
Instagram would tell me who's watching my story, like
It's
up top,
me.
so I could be
it's
like,
me
I'm gonna
a
f- her.
lot. Yeah,
That's so cool.
her.
Still me.
We had a lot of fun. I
lot.
blindfolded you, and then
Mhm.
I surprised you with the.
That big.
Wow.
Mhm.
It's a shame we're just doing a podcast. It would be so cool if we could hook up
It's
again.
such a shame that we can't take these mics off and
Look.
just get nasty.
Like, I just gotta say it. So time is valuable, and there's no chance on earth that I'd be here if I didn't think there was a chance that you guys would me.
We're
Yeah.
Well,
all this dirty talk. I need it.
Lena,
There's no way to be in the room with this one without
you think she's earned it?
Have I been a good girl?
Yes.